I come from the southeast side. It tends to be, I went to our local school, which was which is the Gallisto Language Academy. And before a few years ago, it was known to be a school that was split in three. So we had your like pre-K through, third grade students in one building, and then a few blocks down, you had your fifth grade students, and then right across the street, it was sixth through eighth. So there was always like this big divide, and in the eyes of people who were not part of the neighborhood, Gallisto was not the school to be at. Gallisto was not the school you wanted to send your kid to, and it just really wasn't like where good kids went, which was very interesting. And so I, like, similar to Damayanti, like, there wasn't a specific time where I was like a switch was flipped or anything, and I realized what kind of world I was living. It was something that kind of progressively just kept getting piled on. Like, it was experience after experience. And it wasn't until the point where I got to college where I kind of felt like I was really disadvantaged. Like, if I felt like I was ahead of the game at one point, I was completely wrong. And because I attended high school at Gwendolyn Brooks College Prep, and there, like, they made it seem like you would be ahead of the game. Like, you were set for life, going to a good college, and, everything would be okay. But going to college, and going to college downtown, there was a lot less Hispanics. There was a lot less POCs, students in the school. And so what happened was that a lot of my colleagues had gone to schools in the suburbs, had gone to schools up north. They knew they had a lot more resources in their schools, and they didn't really understand the things that I had gone through in terms of education whenever I would bring it up. And there was one specific incident when I was in about like fifth grade. We took like our annual trip to Navy Pier. Like, that was the highlight of our year for Gallisto students, because that's what the school could afford. And we went to Navy Pier. We went ahead and went to like the garden area. And I remember that at the same time that we were there, students from they were mainly white. They were a lot younger than we were, but they were running around. They were having a good time. And from the moment that we walked into this garden, our teacher told us, like, hey, be careful. Try to not, touch anything really. And so we had only been there for a few minutes before a security guard came and rounded up a few of us. I was included in the group as well, and I was very, very confused as to what was going on. And it wasn't until they brought our teacher over, and our teacher let us know that somebody had complained about us and said that we had been pulling leaves off trees and splashing water and all of these things, which was, and she didn't believe it because she had actually been with us the whole time. And in reality, the ones that had been pulling off leaves and splashing water were the other students that were there from a different school. So we couldn't find a way to get out of that situation. We were eventually escorted outside of Navy Pier, and we were told that we were banned for the rest of the year by our principal. Like, a letter was sent to him. And so I think that was like, and the whole reason behind that is that Gallisto students and the school itself had this, people viewed it as a school for troubled kids. Like, when teachers went to teacher conferences, they would come back and tell us, like, hey, yeah, they said that we're teaching gangsters. Like, they say that we're teaching problematic kids. And it was crazy. But I think that it was just moments like those that built up. And like, this whole time I was like, okay, well, what do I do? And, when one of my good friends, like, decided to, create SYA, to create the Southeast Youth Alliance, I just felt like it was a good opportunity to offer these resources and offer a space for youth.